Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in our last video, we have gone through the process of QST, how to file the QBake return, QST return for the month of April 25. And today we are gonna file another return, and this time it's GST HST for the CRA Canada Revenue Agency for the month of April. But before we move to the filing and start the process, I will request all of you to do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with the latest tax information. Let's move back to the topic. So this is my spreadsheet. You can see here I have by the way, this is a very huge spreadsheet. It has many sheets here. You can see there are many sheets here, and I will walk you all of these sheets one by one. So this is the first page. This is the summary page where I have all these input taxes. You can see these are all my input taxes. So these are the taxes that I have paid on my purchases. And then on the second portion, I have all those taxes which I have collected on my sales. As I have told in my previous period, that previous video, that you need to subtract the input tax from your output tax to get the payable or the refund, whatever the net effect is on your taxes. So here you can see this is my input taxes, and then this is my output tax. So on the second sheet, this is my posting tax. I will post the amounts like with the accounts that I have on my report. And then this is my sales. Again, these are the this is all the dummy data. It's not the real data. This is the process, and the spreadsheet, the format is for one of the client that I used to file for one of my clients. So but the data is dummy here. So that's the first one. So if you can see here, that's the GST input tax credits. These are all the credits on my purchases. You can see that this is all coming from the purchase data. Then and this the value and the currency for all these transactions is Canadian. And then on the next sheet, you can see I have the USD data here. Then I have the SJD as a currency. So on my summary tab, on this tab, I converted all of these into Canadian dollar, because in the end I have to pay in the Canadian dollar, so I need to convert all these currencies into Canadian ones. Then you can see this is the ARS currency. Then I have the DKK currency, then euro, and then again there's a Canadian. Now this one is for the Ontario. You can see these are the input tax for the Ontario, and these are in Canadian currency, and then these are in USD currency. These are again for the Ontario, and this is for the so these are all the input tax for different provinces, different areas. So you can see this is anything which starts in my in this spreadsheet which starts with 1400 are my input tax. And then if you see here, then it comes 2000. So anything which starts with the 2000 are my taxes, which are output taxes. So you can see those, these are the output taxes that I have collected on my sales. Now one thing here I want to highlight is that if you see here, these are the taxes that have been added into 1400 account, but these are actually the output tax. These are not the input tax. You can see here these are coming from the sales module of the accounting software. So this is why I have separated these from my initial worksheet, which you can see here. Both are the same account, 1400 account, but these are the input taxes, and here these are my output taxes, but they have been posted to the input account. So these are my output taxes now. So if you see here, I have the QBake account now. So as I have mentioned in my previous videos, when you talk about the PST, that when you file for the PST, the total tax includes both GST and PST. So when you file for the PST, you just need to file and pay those taxes which are the PST, not for those which are GST. For the GST, you need to pay those with the GST one. So here you can see this is the total entry. These are the total amounts, the total tax. It includes both GST and PST. So now here I have separated out. Now this is my PST element, and then here I have a GST element. Now this GST will go with this summary tab. This summary tab, if you see here, I have these now. For example, Quebec, I have this Quebec, this is British Columbia, this is Manitoba, then I have this as a SK. So this one. So these are all the taxes which are GST, but they have been the sale has been made in the provinces, but it includes the GST element. So these are all included in this particular spreadsheet in this return. So this is how I have designed my spreadsheet. This is pretty much easier to understand as well, and it makes my life very easy, because it in the end you need to pay the right amount to the department. This is the Avalaro report, as you can see here. uh, this is GST element. Then again, I have different columns for different taxes, like I have for British Columbia, I have for Quebec, I have for Manitoba, and going forward. That these two last columns are the calculated ones. This is for the totals of all these columns, and this is then the difference, which can be is there any difference, or just to control, just for the check and balance. This is basically the audit column that I have made here. So now let's go to the portal and see how we can file this return. So if you see here, I have one thing more I want to highlight here. This is my USD currency, this is my Canadian, this is my other currencies, and I have converted these. So basically what I did is I have multiplied this with the USD rate, and then this is the summary which combines all of these into. And if you see here, this is USD. So these are the USD transaction, and here in this column I have converted this by multiplying this with the whatever the USD rate here is. So now let's go to the portal and see how we can file this return. So this is my portal now. You can see on the screen here, I will input the total sales and other revenue. So my total sales here is this one. This is my total sales. Now here I need to put the GST, HST collected, those taxes, the output taxes. So my total output tax is this, and then total ITC. I will put the ITC here, the input taxes that are paid on purchases, and then here I will just click the next, see what it gives us. So there are some errors. This is the error. I need to enter this manually. Okay, the first one is 5454228.039.35. Then the second one is 617,192.38, and then this one is 277,590.29. Let's see if it's still giving us error, or it is calculating text now. So if you see here, now I have the total tax, that is this amount that needs to be paid. My total sales are these are my, this is my output tax 617,192, this is my input tax, and there's a net payable on my account 339,602.09. And if you see here, I have this same amount as a payable on my spreadsheet. During my US sales tax videos, I always emphasize that try to reconcile your tax with what you have on your report. Your the text that comes on your portal should match with the text that you have on your report, because going forward in the future, if audit comes up, you can have a proper, if you have a proper reconciliation, you can uh, go through the audit very carefully, and you can manage that audit. But if you don't have the proper record, and your reports and your portal amount does not reconciles, you have to face the penalties, and you have to give the interest and penalties and default surcharge and other things as well. Also, this is a very, that will be very time consuming exercise. So I always emphasize that try to make your text, the text that you that is on your report, the one that you have pull out from the ERP, or the one that you are maintaining on a spreadsheet or on Google Sheets, whatever software or whatever tool you are using. So here you can see I have this amount. Now here I can just say yes, and I can just certify, and when I click submit, the return will be submitted. Since this is a dummy data, so I'm not gonna hit submit here. I will need to hit the right have the right data, and then I will submit it to the submit the return. But this is how you can file GST HST for the Canadian taxes. So if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, do let me know in the comment box. Thank you very much.